If you guys are having a coolant leak on one of these Ford Escapes in the years around 2013 to 2014, around the transmission to engine bell housing area, I happen to be removing the transmission on this one here, and I did that in a separate video if you're interested, but I figured this is a good time to talk about this hose. There's a good chance this is your problem right here, and what it is a hose that goes up to the heater core and down there to the oil cooler. And Ford has this terrible design quick connect here that they used in these years. They have a redesigned part number that gets rid of this nonsense, and it's one single unit here. Today I'll give you that part number and show you how you can install that, and also give you a couple alternatives that you could potentially try. But if those don't work, I suggest just replacing it with a new Ford part. So real quick here, here's the side-by-side of the old part and the new part. And I don't know what years they switched over to this new part. Maybe it was around 15, 16, 17. I'm not sure, but I know for sure your 2013 and 14s do have this connection here. As you can see there's the connection. This one's just a solid piece here. And there's the part number, and I'll put the part number in the description as well. These are readily available at your Ford dealer, and also Dorman makes a very similar replacement as well that's a little bit cheaper. So what goes wrong with these? So we'll first just take this retaining clip out. And inside here, and I'll give you some close-up pictures of this, there's just a little O-ring. So this little, if I can get it out of there, this little O-ring is what goes bad over time. And you can try to go to your local part store, and this is maybe the first option you can try, and try to see if you can find a very similar setup. I went to mine and tried to see if I could get one very similar, but it's a hard size to find because it's a little bit thicker. You can try to do that, put that new O-ring in there and see if it works. The second option you can try to cut here, and you can splice a piece in the middle and put your two hose clamps there as well. I've seen that done at some local shops in the past, and as long as it doesn't leak, that would work as well. Then the third option is just replace it with this updated part from Ford, or again, you can get the Dorman part, and this is really the guaranteed option that it will work. So let me show you how you can very easily install this on this 14 Escape back here. Alright, so if you're not familiar with where this hose goes, so if you look back there where that heater core connection is in the back there, it's just going to get snapped in place there. Then it's going to run along the bell housing here up front. Then it's going to come down here and it's going to connect to the oil cooler. Now, mine is disconnected here because I'm replacing again this transmission here, so I had to get that out of the way so I get my starter out. But all this is just connected up there, and this is where your oil filter gets tied into. So you notice this connection right here. So this is the one you're going to be removing, and it's just a regular hose clamp. So you just take that hose clamp out of there. Obviously you're going to have some coolant come out of here, so I have a drip pan. You can pull that end off. Then on the other end you're going to use either a special tool, or sometimes you get lucky and they'll twist off. And how this quick connect works over there on the heater side, it's a very simple setup. It's just going to have a lock and an unlock. So if you see that little mark right there, that is the lock mark. So when you first go over there to remove that, it's going to be in the lock position like that. So you need to rotate it over there to the unlock, then pull it off that connection. Sometimes those are hard to get off initially. You can gently take a screwdriver right here and pry against that housing back there, and it'll eventually just kind of crack it loose there a little bit, then you can pull it off. Once you insert your new one in there, simply insert it all the way, simply lock it over there, and it's installed. Now, sometimes these are a bear to get off, and it's very difficult to get these removed by hand. Lisle does also make this tool here where it goes on the outside of that, and it'll rotate it for you. So if you're not able to do it, or if you're not able to get in there far enough in order to get it released, you can always get this part. I think it was on like $7 or $8, so this is an option as well. To get our new one installed, you're going to take the oil cooler side and you're going to go underneath all this wiring into these other hoses, and it's going to rest right on top of the transmission bell housing area there. Then your other side with your quick connect is going to go over there to the heater side. To install the cooler side, you're just going to have your new hose, and this is my old one. I'm just going to give you an example here. I'm not able to get this one here installed yet because we're in the middle of a different repair, but just take your pliers, or if you have one of these hose clamp pliers, just pull that clamp back, and on your new one, you're going to thread your new one in there. Then you're simply going to take your hose clamp and just get it put back on there. And again, this is the old one. You're going to have a new clamp and a new hose on the other side. Just thread it on that oil cooler spot that I showed you there earlier. Then we'll go up and we'll install the quick connect on the top. Then to install the quick connect side, just make sure your locking collar is in the unlock position. You're going to push it through until you hear it snap all the way back in place.
Then when you have it fully seated like that, then simply rotate your locking collar up. Just like that, then you got it installed.
Alright, so hopefully this video helped you out. If you were struggling on where your coolant was coming from when you had it dripping around the transmission area there, if it did, please give me the thumbs up. If you're interested in more content like this, please hit that subscribe. But again, I hope this helped you out, and thanks for watching.